You know that feeling when you are sitting at a family dinner and someone brings up a fresh financial crisis? Maybe it is a broken car, a sudden medical bill, or past due rent. In that exact second, the entire room goes quiet, and everyone looks at you. It is not with anger, but with a heavy, unspoken expectation. You actually have the cash in your bank account this time. But deep down, you know that paying this bill will not fix the real problem. It just turns you into the default safety net. You feel an immediate wave of guilt for even hesitating to help. There is a highly specific, invisible reason this happens every single time you start getting ahead, and it has nothing to do with how much your family loves you or how hard you work. Something is deeply broken about this picture. Conventional wisdom says that building wealth as a first-generation high earner means you get to lift everyone up with you automatically. We are told that your success is their success. But that framework is a dangerous trap that usually ends with everyone staying completely broke. In this video, we are going to reveal the wealth tax of first-generation success. This is the hidden structural friction that pulls breakout earners right back down to their family's economic baseline. My name is Sean, and I analyze the hidden behavioral patterns behind long-term wealth. I have watched hundreds of high earners make millions on paper, only to end up financially stressed because they did not know how to navigate the social architecture of money. If you want to protect your future without destroying your relationships, subscribe and hit the like button. We are always taught that building wealth is just simple math. The common belief is that your income minus your choices equals your net worth. Under this rule, if you work hard, climb the corporate ladder, and earn a great salary, you should easily be able to bail out your relatives while building your own financial empire at the same time. It makes perfect sense to look at money this way. It comes from a place of deep love, culture, and a desire to take care of the community that raised you. You are not wrong for believing that an individual high income could fix a generational problem. The system taught us that money solves everything. But the math completely breaks down when you look at how real life works. Statistics show that first-generation affluent earners are actually 40% more likely to slide right back down the income ladder during their lifetimes than people who were simply born into wealthy families. Think about that. You can do everything right, earn the big paycheck, and still watch your net worth disappear. This happens because a high salary cannot automatically erase decades of systemic financial habits. The real truth is that you are not just fighting a lack of budgeting or a run of bad luck. You are fighting a massive wave of economic inertia. To understand why this happens, we have to look at a powerful, hidden force that I call the elastic band effect. This effect is the invisible social and emotional pull that snaps a breakout earner right back down to their family's financial baseline through constant small emergencies, guilt-driven loans, and lifestyle support. Most people never see this force coming because it does not look like a financial mistake. It looks like kindness, and it feels like duty. But from this moment on, every single financial choice you make must be viewed through the lens of this hidden pull. Think of it like running a long race, but you have a thick, heavy rubber band tied around your waist. The other end of that band is anchored tightly to the starting line where your family is standing. For the first few miles, you do not feel any pulling at all. You feel free and fast. But the further ahead you run, the more money you earn and the more your savings grow, the tighter that band stretches. Every time you try to take another step forward into true financial freedom, the tension increases. Eventually, a single family crisis snaps you all the way back to where you began. To actually finish this race, you cannot just try to run faster. You have to learn how to unclip that heavy band without abandoning the people you love at the starting line. Let us look at how the math actually plays out in real life by comparing two different people. We will call them Earner A and Earner B. Both of them make exactly $115,500 a year, which gives them about $6,800 every month after taxes. Earner A manages to avoid the financial pull of the rubber band. They keep their expenses low and put away $1,250 every single month into a basic investment account that grows at an average rate of 8.5% each year. In the beginning, the growth is slow, but after 10 years, they have $226,340. By year 20, that number jumps to $742,110. And by the time 25 years pass, their account hits $1,185,420. They have successfully broken the cycle of poverty and built true wealth. Now let us look at earner B. They have the exact same job and the exact same salary. They also plan to invest $1,250 a month. But earner B absorbs a few family emergencies throughout the year. It is a $3,200 transmission repair for a sibling in the spring, a $1,800 rent shortfall for a cousin in the summer, and a $1,600 medical bill for an uncle in the winter. Over the year, this support averages out to $550 every single month. Because earner B is sending that $550 home, their monthly investment contribution drops from $1,250 down to just $700. When you run that same 8.5% growth rate over 25 years, earner B does not end up with $1.1 million. They end up with $663,835. By helping out with those small, everyday family emergencies, earner B did not just lose the cash they handed over. They lost the power of compounding interest. That small, regular act of family generosity ended up costing them exactly $521,585 in retirement wealth. The math proves that trying to save everyone from small problems will permanently break your own financial future. To see how this feels on a human level, look at Marcus, a 34-year-old senior software engineer who earns $142,000 a year. Marcus is the very first person in his family to ever make a six-figure salary. Because his paycheck is so large, Marcus feels rich, and he naturally wants to share his success. When his mom's roof starts leaking, he eagerly pays the $8,400 repair bill. When his cousin needs a $2,500 deposit for an apartment, Marcus lends him the money, even though deep down he knows he will never see it again. In these moments, Marcus feels like a hero, and his family praises his success. For a long time, Marcus thinks he is doing perfectly fine because his bank account never hits zero. But the years roll on, and the rubber band keeps pulling. By the time Marcus turns 45, he looks closely at his net worth. Over the last 11 years, he has earned well over $1.5 million in total income. Yet, because he constantly emptied his financial surplus to fix minor family issues, he only has $42,000 saved for retirement. He assumed his high salary would always protect him, but instead, his family's bad financial habits silently became his own financial liabilities. The real crisis hits when his mother suddenly needs expensive, long-term elder care. Because Marcus spent his prime earning years spending his extra cash on small family favors, he does not have the big block of capital needed to handle a true emergency. To cover the care, he is forced to take on massive high-interest credit card debt. Marcus did everything right in his career, but by trying to carry the financial weight of his entire past, he completely destroyed his own future. Why do smart, successful people like Marcus fall into this trap? It happens because of a powerful mental pattern called survivor's guilt financial syndrome. When you are the only one who escapes an environment where money was always tight, your brain starts to view your new wealth as an unfair advantage. Below your conscious awareness, a deep feeling of guilt begins to grow. You love your family, and you hate seeing them struggle while you live comfortably. So, your brain secretly decides that by suffering a little bit financially through constant handouts, you can prove that you are still part of the team. Giving away your extra cash becomes a way to buy relief from that heavy emotional guilt. At the same time, your family is operating under survival mode thinking. When you grow up without enough money, you learn to look at cash as something to be spent immediately on whatever urgent problem is staring you in the face today. Your family does not see your savings as seed capital meant to grow for the next 30 years. They just see an unused pile of money that could solve a crisis right now. The problem here is not that you lack willpower, and it is not that your family is greedy. The issue is an invisible structural conflict between short-term survival habits and long-term wealth building. You are simply operating with an incomplete set of rules. Most people will always believe that a good child or a helpful sibling uses their extra money to solve their family's current problems. But the contrarian truth is that the most generous thing a breakout earner can do is become unshakably rich, creating a brand new financial foundation for the generations that come after them. When you constantly weaken your own investments to fix temporary family shortfalls, you are not actually rescuing anyone. You are just ensuring that when you get older, your children will have to make the exact same painful choices for you. The person caught in the elastic band effect looks like a savior today, but ends up a financial casualty tomorrow. The person who unclips the band looks selfish right now, but produces total freedom for their entire bloodline in the future. It is the same income, the same hours worked, and the same deep love for family. Yet, it leads to a completely different destiny. True generational wealth requires you to understand that you cannot rescue a drowning family if you refuse to stand firmly on dry ground first. It is incredibly heavy to realize that your love for your family might be holding your financial future back, but you can change this dynamic starting this week by taking 3 specific actions. First, establish a family capital reserve account. Open a separate high-yield savings account that is completely separate from your main banking platform and cap it at an exact number, like $5,000. This is your dedicated family safety net for the entire year. Once that specific account hits zero, your capacity to give financial aid is objectively done until the next calendar year begins, which removes emotional guesswork from your decision-making. Second, use the 72-hour direct pay rule. When a relative reaches out with an urgent money request, wait exactly 3 days before making a decision to eliminate the immediate emotional panic. If you do choose to help after the time passes, never give cash directly to the person. Instead, pay the bill collector, the landlord, or the mechanic directly from your account, which instantly filters out lifestyle spending requests from true family emergencies. Third, audit your personal financial floor. Pull up your last 3 bank statements, print them out, and highlight every fixed bill that you cannot cancel with a single phone call. Add those numbers up to find the exact baseline cost of your life, and use that hard data to show yourself why your extra cash is not actually a surplus, but necessary protection for your own future stability. Building true wealth requires you to survive the difficult transition from the financial environment where you started to the freedom you are building today. The choices you make with your next paycheck will determine whether you remain the default safety net for the past or become the financial foundation for your family's future.